Hello, and a very warm welcome to our live coverage here in Berlin for round 10 of the Formula E Championship. I am Slayer. Joining alongside me today is a new commentator for our Formula E coverage. Today, my assistant here is welcome to you. And I'd like to take a moment to thank Aaron for his time commentating with us. And he has announced that he will not continue commentating following the Paris E Prix. We had some good moments. Glad you got to have the experience. However, Officer will now be taking his place. And now we just want to begin by apologizing for not being able to broadcast to you for practice and qualifying due to operational difficulties. But we are back today and ready for a fantastic race here in Berlin. Officer, run us through the track for today's race.
The Berlin E Prix has 10 turns and a long number of straights combined to make a circuit that is 1.2 miles long, entering into round 11. There is no longer a fight for the championship as Dark Air secured the win in Paris last week. With only 3 more weeks to go in the Formula E calendar, this race in Berlin will be a fantastic spectacle.
Now, here in Berlin, there's a lot of medium speed long corners for examples of turn 1, 6, 9, and 10. How do you think that's going to affect things like the driving style and tire temperatures today?
Definitely will be quite interesting as we see each racer advance throughout this race. I think it's definitely a strategy game here that we're playing, especially in Berlin with all these different types of turns. Each racer has a different type of style for driving, and so it'll be definitely interesting on how the style of the pole position racers at the moment compared to the more lower ranking players at the moment. So it'll be definitely interesting to see, but yeah.
Indeed, well, and just to note here, as we look at the drivers and constructors championship here in Formula E currently, last weekend, Dakar wrapped up the Drivers' Championship as now no one is able to surpass him, even if he were not to score and another driver were to win. So it'll be interesting to see how he'll do in the remaining races. I think he'll still be looking for some wins, but who knows what'll happen. Another thing to note is that Kenny and Hardman, both of the BMW Andretti drivers, have retired from Formula E. So it's going to be interesting to see just how that affects BMW to the end of the season. Sitting currently in P3, we're fighting for P2 with Nissan. So it'll be interesting to see. And speaking on the Constructors' Championship, Audi, with a good result today, could clinch the Constructors' Championship if both drivers have a great result for them. So an interesting race seems to be on board here in Berlin, as a lot of things could happen and have changed. So we look for that.
Yes, indeed. It'll definitely be an interesting race. As we can see, Dakar already is at Champion 1 at the moment. So that will be really interesting to see how everybody behind him can try to change their racing at the moment. It's really interesting to see how Audi Esport is at 299 points at the moment, and then Nissan right behind it is 190. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how Nissan can maybe try to make some sort of impact a bit more. But yeah, we'll definitely have to see how it goes. Behind that, Nissan is BMW I, which is one of the main pole positions and fighters for today. It'll definitely be interesting to see how these different teams can strategize their way up to maybe a higher position, more points. I think now we'll be going over to an ad break, but we'll be right back after.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to live coverage of the Berlin E Prix here, as we are just about 5 minutes away from race. We'll give you a quick rundown of what happened in qualifying earlier today. As after a thrilling Super Bowl session, TDM fan has put his Geo on Neo on the front row, or in the pole position. And then second behind him closely, Kakira in the Nissan. And a correction on TDM fan driving for the Geox team. As Super Funny Max came in third, and Lenore09 in fourth, Project User in fifth for the Audi team, and GQN in sixth. That rounds out the Super Bowl session, as Dakar did not make Super Bowl with a penalty that occurred earlier in qualifying, as the Audi driver had the quickest overall time in qualifying, but unfortunately crashed out and was not able to take part in the Super Bowl position. So he'll be down the order today. Interesting to see how that affects him. Officer, you want to run us quickly through the rest of the field as qualifying unfolded?
Yes, exactly. So right after Dakar, with a 109, we have Lanor 04 with a 110. Really interesting to see how he came out and delivered with this. As we've seen in the past, he's gotten a bit higher. He's actually champion right now, so it's really interesting to see how he'll try to make those positions back from that qualifying. After that, we have Supra Spinala. Sorry. And then followed by F1 Fan. Now, F1 Fan we've seen has been quite reasonable in the past Formula E. So we'll definitely have to see how he levels out the playing field and tries to get back those positions. After that, Melodic Adrian 12, Tebo Z978, Capitan BO. It's a great job by him. Aluno, Bixno YT, Warrior Gabrielle, and finally Toots and 879. Apologies. And yeah, so it's really interesting to see how these qualies, but as we've seen in the past, the qualies isn't, it can do a bit of help to the drivers, but really they're all starting in a small area, quite bunched together. So really we'll have to see how the race actually goes ahead and how these drivers can pull out with these many laps. And yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how they can, recover from this qualifying. Yeah.
Indeed it will, as we go to the grid now, as we are just about ready for race start here in as race control is checking with the drivers to make sure they are ready to go.
Yeah, it's definitely all about the drivers and just being prepared for this race. Berlin is a difficult track. It has, quite a few hairpins there. They really need to be prepared and ready. And I think we've already seen the qualifying. Drivers really need to be on their best shape and form if they want to be making some sort of impact into this race.
Indeed, as Berlin is a very technical track, lots of tight turns as well as medium speed and low speed corners, and it'll just be interesting to see how the drivers take the track today, as we are just about ready to get the lights on here in Berlin. Yeah, thrilling Berlin E Prix.
Thrilling indeed, especially this Berlin E Prix is definitely going to be quite interesting. A whole of 10 turns and 2 long straights will give these drivers an incredible opportunity to make those marks and try to get up those positions. As we've seen, there has been, I think, 2 or 3 hairpins on this racetrack and 10 whole turns. So these drivers will really want to go in there. Good strategy and a good basis on how they're going to be, trying to improve on this race and trying to get their team points up.
Indeed, we have just been informed from race control that GQN and Adrian are starting from the pit lane today. So we'll see just how if they'll be able to march back through the field, starting very far back, as they'll have to wait for all the drivers to pass them before they'll be allowed to proceed onto the track to start the race.
Yes, definitely. Starting from the pit lane really has a big impact on a lot of racers, and even just their emotions before the race. It feels a lot worse starting from the pit than starting yeah, it definitely might take a toll on these racers, but I've no doubt that they'll be able to come back from this and, try to get some more positions, bring up their team's points just a bit.
And as we are just about to start, and we go green in Berlin. The Audi of Dakar appears to get a great start as a TDM fan, not the quickest of starts we've seen from him. Still maintaining that P1 position, though, for the Geox drive. As now it looks like the Nissan of Kakira having a run into some of the tight corners here around Berlin, as they have now crossed the finish line to begin their laps officially, as the start line and finish line are not in the sim. Now onto the first of the long straights here in Berlin. Pretty long straights we got here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Kakira is really trying to battle TDM Fan for this pole position and gets him on the inside. Now TDM Fan gets that upper advantage coming out of that turn, so he can keep that pole position. But we'll definitely have to see. Kakira is definitely putting a big impact and trying to pressure TDM Fan from the get-go to lose those positions. Kakira is coming onto the outside, but TDM keeps this position. Really interesting how many turns and how this affects the racers. Kakira is definitely trying to stay on the inside for these turns to keep this momentum and pressure he's having on TDM Fan.
Indeed so, as crossing the line, looks like TDM Fan still maintaining the lead, but a 5/10 gap back to Kakira. So it'll be interesting to see just how Kakira attacks him in the past few laps. As now bunching up is the pack here, it looks like. With now it looks like a Venturi attacking the Geox of TDM Fan for the league, for the lead of this Grand Prix, or correction, E-Prix.
Yes, definitely. As we can see here, we have Lanor and Super Funny Max battling it out for second position, but I think, looks like they're both kind of glitching out here. It's a bit laggy, but we'll have to see how that affects it. Looks like Super Funny Max.
Video involved there.
Oh yeah, there it is. Lanor 04 as well. Two Lanors here, Lanor 04 and Lanor 09. Lanor 04 is battling out with Super Funny Max. TDM Fan takes the inside for that turn, continuously keeping that pole position to himself. We'll definitely have to see how this race turns out. As we've seen, this is a 25 race lap, and so things change a lot, especially in Formula E. So it looks like TDM Fan can hold on to his pole position for the first 3 laps, or 3 or 2 laps, but I've no doubt that some other great contenders will try to get that pole position for him.
No doubt about it. TDM Fan having a quality start, though. Looks like Super Funny Max having a look now through the tight first sector of the lap. But back onto the long straight now. TDM Fan still holding the lead in his Geox, having a great race. Looking back down the field, looks like there's some battling going on, as it appears Dakar is down the order a bit still. As
Dakar's coming up a bit more actually now. I see him. He came up into third position, which is quite good, seeing as he started out all the way down in 7th. So as we've seen before, as I said, starting from a 7th position and a grid really doesn't change much other than just the practice lap.
Indeed, you're right, as he made some moves right on that lap, now sitting in P3 as TDM Fan and Super Funny Max battling it out for the lead. Let's see if Dakar can take advantage of that battle going on and then potentially get past both of them for the lead.
Yes, exactly. There's a 0.1 millisecond gap between TDM Fan and Super Funny Max, and so already Super Funny Max has made an impact and is pressuring TDM Fan to give up that position. TDM Fan is holding strong, but again, we're only on lap 4, and so we'll definitely have to see how this is coming. And Dakar is following behind Super Funny Max and tries to go for the outside. We'll definitely have to see how that will work out for this next turn. Dakar is looking to take over Super Funny Max, and looks like he's going for the inside, but I think they all are at this moment, and so Dakar is staying at 2nd position. Really interesting.
Indeed, as just want to also say sorry for technical difficulties, as our cameraman is having some issues there, but we'll keep providing commentary for you. As Dakar now around the outside of the turn 9 hairpin, he is now into the race lead for the Audi Schluffer team.
Really incredible start, and just in general, really well done by Dakar. He came off from the grid at 7th position and now is a great contender for pole position. TDM Fan is taking the inside, so we'll definitely have to see how that plays out. But Dakar is still keeping in this first position. Now again, this race will show what will happen, but TDM Fan, we already thought, was holding off his position well, and Dakar came up from second and just took his position like that. Really interesting to see how he can make those grids, those positions up and just keep going up those ranks. Now in the back here, let's have a look back. They all seem to be spread out, but that's just because now we're in lap 5 of the race. Looks to be spread out. Warrior Gabrielle, then Tabo's 978, F1 Fan, Kakira, Lanor, Super Funny Max, and then TDM Fan again. It's really interesting to see how Kakira came all the way back down. He was already a contender for the first place position, but now it doesn't look like it so much. Dakar is continuously keeping this first place position, but I guess only time will tell.
Indeed, you're right. As we're going to jump on board Super Funny Max in the Venturi, as he is looking to attack Dakar and TDM Fan for potentially a higher place on the podium, sitting in P3 right now. The Venturi driver had a decent start, but in his battling with TDM Fan, lost out to Dakar, now sitting in that P3 spot, as Dakar was able to definitely benefit from the battle. So Super Funny Max working to just make up some time on these two up front.
Yes, exactly. I think Super Funny Max has kind of spaced out, and TDM Fan and Dakar has kind of, shown what they're worth of. But this really interesting part of the Berlin E-Prix is that it has very tight turns in small little areas. And so that kind of bunches up a lot of the racers to get some overtakes. Super Funny Max at the moment is quite a fair bit behind, but we'll definitely have to see how that will come up, since Dakar started from 7th and now is in pole position. As we can see here, Dakar is almost a full second ahead of TDM Fan. I guess we'll be passing over the line quite soon now to see how that will actually play out.
Oh, as there was a crash in the back of the field as Big Snow in the Mahindra team and a Geox had a little bit of a touch over in... looks like it was turn 8. They had a little bit of a touch in. Big crash there. They'll be looking to make up some time now as they fell behind.
Oh, it looks like from race control, we're restarting with the positions from now. It looks like there was a little problem with race control. I think we'll be restarting. But TDM Fan and Dakar, and if you have a look at it, Super Funny Max overtakes TDM Fan. TDM Fan drops to 3rd place position, and Dakar keeps that 1st place position. Now, there's a lot of spacing in between Dakar and Super Funny Max, but we'll definitely have to look and see if Super Funny Max, or TDM Fan for that matter, can try to overtake Dakar. Dakar is just making more time and making more space for his position and being a bit more comfortable with how he's racing now, because he knows that he's quite a bit of spacing between ahead of Super Funny Max or TDM Fan. Very interesting.
Indeed, that was a superb dive bomb into the hairpin by Super Funny Max. One of the best moves I've seen in the last several races, as now the drivers are taking to the grid for a race restart, as race control has informed us. And it will be the positions as they were in this restart, as race control's red flag this session temporarily for this restart.
It's very sad to see one of those moves go to waste, but it looks like Super Funny Max, Dakar, and TDM Fan will all be starting on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place position. The only change here that we mainly see is Dakar and TDM Fan changing positions. As we've seen, Big Snow, with that massive crash, came down to last place position, but as we've seen before, starting from last in the grid isn't the biggest issue and won't take too much of a toll to Big Snow or his team for that matter.
Definitely, as this race restart is almost like a safety car in the idea that the field's being rebunched up, and now theoretically anyone has a chance here at this point.
Exactly, it's anyone's game here. Everybody's starting from a very close position, and so we'll definitely see some more activity and some more battling it out for some positions now that we're restarting the race. F1 Fan and Warrior Gabrielle have kind of held back at this race, I think, but they'll definitely be pushing forward to get their team some more points. Super Funny Max is at third place position, but that will definitely change as this is more than just an 8-lap race. Kakira after that in fourth, Lanor in fifth, F1 Fan in sixth, Tebos in seventh, and Warrior Gabrielle in eighth.
Indeed, the Envision Virgin team seems to have the best odds, in my opinion, to get the best team score of points out of this race. Both drivers being pretty conservative, but holding good points-paying positions. So it'll be interesting to see which team comes ahead, as Audi still making some gains in the Constructors' Championship, but with only one car in the field for this race, how much progress will they be able to make? We will just have to see as we are preparing for race restart here in Berlin.
Yes, exactly. Just having that activity on your team is extremely important. And it's not just for the racers to be getting that first place position for those teams to grow. It's about both drivers trying to, push and, make those team strategies and not just think as a person or just as an individual. Apologies. And so now it looks like they'll be starting up the race, and we'll definitely have to see how this will play out. Now, the difference between this start and last start is that, of course, there's some position changings, but also no one is starting from the grid. So there'll be more, I think, there'll be more bunched up at the start, and it'll be more difficult for people to pull away and, solidify their position.
Indeed, and it seems that it will also be, we'll be restarting the race on lap 8, so it'll be a shortened time period from the race restart for the drivers to make gains up the field and get the highest possible position in this Berlin E Prix.
Yeah, right now it looks like they'll be starting up the race very soon, but looks like they're all just a little standstill at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like race control is just talking things over real quick, making sure they're all on the same page as we just await race restart here in Berlin. After the session was Red and race control called for a restart. And I believe the reason was for lag, but I'm not certain on that. We'll check with race control on that at an appropriate time.
Yes, exactly. We'll have to see how what's going on with them. Very organized Formula E, so we'll definitely have to see what was the main issue with what was going on.
Indeed, this is not a frequent occurrence in Formula E, so definitely race control deemed something serious occurred, and it looks like there's just some controversy in the field right now is what's holding things up, as drivers are not too happy right now.
Yeah, it looks like we got some a little bit of cackling over here, and but it's all part of the race.
Definitely, those drivers just want to hold those gaps, and now everything's being rebunched up, and it seems race control has mentioned that anyone who crashed will be permitted to restart, but it'll have to be from pit lane. So I'm guessing the session was red flag to be restarted due to lag as well as crashing. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers finish this up.
Oh, it looks like we got some people moving. Oh, Dakar and Kikira starting for some reason going to the pits. They might be resetting.
Several drivers going into the pit lane, it seems. As the top 3 all dove into the pits. Not sure what's going on there.
They might be doing a... Oh, looks like... Don't know what's going on there.
It seems the drivers may be protesting race control's decision at the moment is what's going on, but not certain.
Yep, looks like they're not being very happy with what's going on at the moment.
It seems the top 3 are. It seems what's going on is they're protesting the idea that anyone who crashed is allowed to re-enter right now. Is what's going on. So we'll just wait what goes on here with the controversy. We're sorry for this, as we don't mean to bring you standstill coverage, but there's nothing we can do right now. It's in race control in the driver's hands right now. What's going on?
It's definitely interesting, though. I think Dakar must be very angry. He pulled away from 7th position at the grid to 1st position. Had a nice nice spacing between the other two, and now he must restart from where he is from the grid position. So that might also be another factor. Yeah, really apologies for this. We didn't mean for this to happen, but it looks like it's out of our control.
Indeed, nothing we can do here at BBC right now. We're just bringing you what we can as we're just awaiting what's going on with race control. It looks like an announcement in the Formula E Discord as they are now polling, as race control is now polling the drivers what they believe should happen. As they're polling between letting people rejoin but start from the pits or start with the people that didn't crash. And
it looks like it's a... Oh, sorry.
Yep. Currently, the winning poll is people starting with people who didn't crash, but a tight poll.
Yeah, exactly. It's 11 to 16, 17 at the moment. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how that plays out. I think a lot of people are siding with the Care and the other 1st, 2nd, and 3rds. But we'll definitely see how it's going on. It's 12 to 20. Yeah. So yeah.
It definitely seems we're going to be restarting without those who crashed. And unfortunately, with all the action going on in the top positions, we weren't able to catch those drivers who crashed out. But unfortunate result to them in itself. As now race control looks to be getting everything reorganized, as now it looks like Kakira now going back into his car, getting ready to
Yep, looks like Kakira's going back. Dakar's still staying.
Dakar is now going back.
Oh no, he's going back. Yep.
Yep, looks like he was just figuring things out. As it looks like we're about to get back underway here in Berlin to continue this weekend's E-Prix for round 10 of the Formula E Championship here in Season 5 at this specific league. And sorry for the delay throughout all that, but we'll, as that looks like there's some technical difficulties with the game real quick. We'll bring you back to live coverage in a moment. We'll go to a quick ad break and bring you back to live coverage here momentarily. Welcome back, everyone, to our live coverage here in Berlin as the drivers have now reformed in the pit lane, getting ready for race restart here after the red flag session and the controversy going on there. As drivers that will be taking part for the remainder of the pre are reforming in the pit lane. As they'll go to the grid, I would presume for once more going green in Berlin.
Yes, it looks like we're going from 12 racers here. I think Decare might not be coming back for this one, although he was in a great position at the front. It doesn't look like. I think they're going to be lining up for the grids at the moment now. Really interesting to see how this will play out. And although Decare isn't here, TDM Fan and I believe TDM Fan is here, and multiple other racers that are definitely able to bring back those positions. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Decare is here. Apologies. Decare is here, and it looks like we'll be starting from the same positions that we were about to start to. Looks like we had a little problem with some technical difficulties. Apologies, but looks like we'll get back and we're ready to start up again. What's your opinion on how this race has already gone? Do you have an eye on anyone else who might be, come back with a great strong foot and come back with a better position, maybe fifth, sixth?
Yeah, based on what we were seeing in that first little bit of the race, the top three in TDM Fan, Super Funny Max, and Decare definitely seem to be the front three on favor for a. But I wouldn't count out Kakira. We've seen him as a good driver throughout the year, and fell back in the beginning of this Grand Prix, and with the restart might have a chance to get back up the order and potentially back into that podium. So Kakira is definitely one to watch out for, as well as another one, Big Snow, down the order in the Mahindra. We'll be interested to see just what progress he can make, starting last on the grid, see if he can make any progress in the gains now, as we are getting ready for race restart here in Berlin.
All right, look at it. It's looking like it's going to be starting soon. Yes, I definitely agree. I think Akira will have a strong foot and strong position. Looks like we have
lights are on, and we go green once more here in Berlin. As looks like a great start for Dakar, but a Super Funny Max and the Venturi, good start as well. Kakira making some gains now, as it's very tight here into the first hairpin.
Akira tries to pull ahead, and Dakar comes.
And looks like Dakar holding out the lead for the Audi. Kakira losing some, as it looks like there's an Envision up in there now in P3. Trying to figure out just which Envision that is right now.
Yes, exactly. I think we still have quite a bit of bunched up, but Dakar has gotten back his position. Now TDM Fan goes for the inside. Dakar pulls away, making more space for him. F1 Fan overtakes TDM Fan, and now TDM Fan tries to get that back. We really all are clumped together right now. That'll definitely change as we go out through the race. But one thing is certain, Dakar has his first place position and can feel a bit more comfortable with where he is at the moment. TDM Fan is in second place, but I have no doubt that Dakar will be able to continue and keep his first place position for longer. Looks like behind TDM Fan, we have F1 Fan in the Envision version racing. Really great job by F1 Fan, since he wasn't starting at the too great of a position at the start, but now he's come back up and is in third place position. Really great job by him. After that, we have Lanor09. Definitely interesting to see how this race will play out.
Indeed, the Neo of Lanor09 taking advantage of the restart now, sitting in P4, as well as F1 Fan in the Envision, advantage of the restart, sitting P3 now. TDM Fan holding down that P2 position. Super Funny Max, though, fell down the order, as well as Kakira. And we're going to go ahead and jump on board. We'll jump on board with Super Funny Max and the Ventura as we watch his march through, as he's attacking Lenore09 right now into the hairpin of turn 10. Maybe have a look, as it looks like no, he will not have a look, as Kakira tries to make a move there, but Super Funny Max getting the traction out of the turn and having a run potentially into the last turn before the start straight. Lenore09 just barely hold it. as Dakar is starting to build a pretty large gap, 2-second gap now to TDM fan and the Geox. F1 fan still holding in that third place for the Van Vision team. Interesting race restart we've had as Super Funny Max just trying to get something going right now.
Yes, exactly. It's really interesting to see how people have taken advantage of this grid restart. As we can see, Kakira is keeping his pressure onto Lenore 09 and Super Funny Max as they've dropped down multiple positions. Super Funny Max coming into fourth place as F1 fan, TDM fan, and Dark Air are in first, second, and third.
Into the hairpin there, but fails as Super Funny Max on the straight got past Lenore 09. So Super Funny Max sitting in P4, but Lenore 09 now having a little bit of a run into an interesting battle we have for P4 right now as Dakar way out in front now.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Now, jump on board the Nissan of Kaikira while we watch this battle for P4 unfolding, as well as potentially that closing up into a battle for P2 as the envision of F1 pulls closer to the GX of TDM, and this pack of the P4 through 7 is pulling closer to Christian 4 through 6 is pulling closer to those podium positions. Very tight right now. Great racing.
Yeah, exactly. Kakira has taken over Lenore 09. It really looks like it's anyone's game here with Lenore 09 and Kakira and Super Funny Max all trying to fight for that fourth place position. So that because they know that if they take that fourth place position and they stay onto it, they can definitely try to go a bit further than that and try to further their successes and get to maybe a podium finish. Now Kakira is taking over Super Funny Max and Lenore, but takes the outside for that exit turn, which enables Lenore and Super Funny Max to get that traction, get that speed out of that turn, zoom their way across that. Now right now it looks like Kakira and Lenore are trying to battle it out for that position as we go throughout that long straight. It'll definitely have to show what will happen once we get that turn up there. As we can see here, we have Dakar, TDM fan, and F1 fan quite spaced out. The only close people that they have is F1 fan and Kakira. Kakira is really trying to make a mark on F1 fan and trying to overtake F1 fan at the moment. It doesn't look like F1 fan will be giving up at this moment, but definitely only time will tell to see if he will continue and keep this third place position. If we have a look over at Dakar, we can see that he is extremely ahead and very comfortable with his racing.
Akira is attacking the envision of F1 fan for P3 coming through now, approaching turn 9, the hairpin. Kakira was having a look into the hairpin of turn 6 a moment ago. Kakira getting close to overtaking the envision of F1 fan. So it'll be interesting to see if Kakira can push all the way up into P2. Seems he's having some good pace right now. As having a look at the envision once more on the start straight.
Yes, exactly. These start straights, as we've said in Berlin, are really, really important for these drivers to, try to, keep their positioning. Kakira and F1 fan are both really pressuring each other. Kakira comes ahead, pulls ahead, but that's just at a small corner. So F1 fan could be overtaking Kakira anytime soon now. As you have a look, Kakira pulls out into third place position, and it looks like F1 fan is dropping back. It really is anyone games at Berlin. Berlin really is a great racing track just to race in it at itself. And when you're coming against these really great drivers, you really need to optimize those turns and how you're taking those turns so you can get a better race for yourself. As we see here, Kakira.
Yep, go ahead on Kakira.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Kakira is coming into turn 9 and just spacing himself out from F1 fan.
Just taking a look at the fastest laps real quick. Dakar right now, the quickest lap with a 109.1. However, Kakira having a 109.6, only 0.5 off. And TDM fan only make that 0.2 off that now, setting a 109.86 on his last lap. So, Kakira having some great pace right now, could potentially overtake could overtake TDM Fan here soon. Don't think they're going to catch TDM Fan though. So we're going to jump on board the Envision Virgin Racing car of F1 Fan, as he is in P4 now, trying to push back into that top three, as the drivers have now spaced out a bit, with a decent bit of a gap between the top 6 drivers now, all spaced out fairly even.
Yeah, it looks like they are spacing out. As this race goes on in Berlin, it really gives the drivers the opportunity to space out and, solidify their position. Now, for a first, second, or third place position, that's really, really great. But for someone in the back, maybe as the Big Snow or Captain Wookie Lemon, it might not be the best for them. Now, as we can see here, we see that Mahindra Racing and DS Techeetah Formula E are both in the back. Doesn't look like they might be getting get a better position at the moment, but only time will tell to see if they can, trying to come back from where they left off and try to get a better position.
Indeed, you're right, as it looks like Big Snow and Captain Wookie in the seconds behind the next closest driver in P9. They're way down the order. We'll see if they can catch back up to the pack, but it doesn't seem that's going to happen, as Kaikira getting ever closer to attacking TDM Fan, but Dakar is still way out in front. He looks good for the race win.
Looks like Dakar at the moment got this in the bag. He started out from a 7th place position. Then after that race restart, he started out in 1st place position. Even when he was a bit annoyed about not keeping that spacing out, he comes back and he delivers once again, keeping that nice spacing in between himself and TDM Fan. If we look back at TDM Fan, we can see Kikira trying to get that mark, but TDM Fan has already some good spacing. If we have a look here, there's 2 seconds off from Kikira and TDM Fan, and so really he really has a great opportunity now to keep this position. It doesn't look like he'll be getting Dakar anytime soon, but yeah, it's really great racing by all these racers.
Indeed, you're right, as it looks like there's 2 packs that have formed now, as there's a pack with Tabaz leading between 7 through 9, as there's also a pack with, in the middle there, the Envision of F1 Fan leading, of Lenore in P5 and Super Funny Max in P6 now down the order. Thus, we're going to jump on board the Neo of Lenore 09, as he is seeing P5 right now, trying to make some progress on the Envision of F1 Fan in P4. As Lenore was having a pretty good start to the race, but now a little bit down the order, sitting currently P5. He was in P3 at one point, actually P2, battling up there for a podium. So interesting to see how these drivers are coping with a lot of fluctuation in positions right now.
Yes, exactly. As we can see here, Lenore is trying to make a mark and trying to get past F1 Fan, but looks like he's keeping his ground. There's more spacing between those two, but yeah, it's actually really interesting to see how Super Funny Max has dropped down those positions and really just not taking advantage of the restart and trying to keep his position. I think he was in second or third when he started out the grid restart. Sorry. And yeah, it's really interesting to see how he kind of dropped down.
It definitely dropped off the pace, as the Lenore 09 pressurizing the Envision of F1 a little bit. Seems to have the pace on the straights, but not really in the corners.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. So Lenore just trying to take advantage of the straights, but definitely not having the best of luck in the corners, it seems, where he's losing a lot of pace. And it seems to be the case with several of the drivers, and that's why Dakar is way out in front, just nailing his laps every time around.
Yeah, exactly. As we go back to what you said about Lenore and F1 fan, F1 fan really, I think he's really great at the long straights, but when it comes to the turns, I think he's not getting enough traction on his wheels and not, boomeranging out of that turn, if I should say that, as much as he really should be. Lenore now is pulling back a bit more, and now there's a lot of space in between him and Super Funny Max. Now here, as he breaks into the turn 9, Super Funny Max tries to get a position, but Lenore is quite good at those straights, and so is keeping that position that he is that 5th place position. Apologies.
And now Kaikira has overtaken TDM Van for P2 right now. Just have TDM Van may have had a incident occur as 4-second gap now behind Kaikira and the Nissan. So the Geox driver falling down the order a little bit as Kaikira now will attempt to pressure Dakar for the lead, but I don't think that's going to happen as there are 6 laps remaining here in this Berlin E-Prix.
Yes, with these 6 laps remaining, we'll definitely have to see how these racers will try to end their race. Akira, now really well done by Akira, now with a 6-second difference between Akira and Dakar. And I have no doubt that Akira will try to get a bit more pressure onto Dakar, as he's been a bit too comfortable up there in 1st place position. Behind Akira, we have TDM Fan and F1 Fan. Now, TDM Fan is actually just quite a big battle for 3rd place position, as 3rd place position is quite a great position, especially in the Berlin E-Prix with some difficult turns. Now it looks like TDM Fan is spacing out, but really with only 5 laps left to go, it might not be too much of a benefit. It might not be too beneficial for F1 Fan to try to pressure TDM Fan.
Indeed, now with 5 laps left, the drivers are going to be pushing to get the highest position possible now, while also maintaining a safe driving and not forcing any incidents. So drivers will really be on their game now. As it looks like Kaikira and Dakar will likely be backing off now just a little bit to ensure they finish in those P1 and 2 positions. But TDM Fan going to have to be wary as there's 3 cars behind him, all potential of overtaking him with a mistake. Still holding well that last podium position, though, TDM Fan is.
Yeah, it looks like TDM Fan is trying to keep his position. There's quite a bit of spacing between TDM Fan and Kikira, so I don't have too much hope that TDM Fan will try to overtake Kikira, as Kikira is also spaced out. But Kikira coming in to these first couple turns is actually making a couple quite a big impact on Dakar and trying to pressure him to give up his position. Of course, that won't happen because all these racers are giving it their all at this last point. But I think really, these last 4 laps will kind of show which racers can push their car to the limits and take those turns as quickly as possible.
Yes, it looks like the Panasonic of Al Nuno, who we haven't seen much in this race, just overtook the Envision of Warrior Gabriel for P. So a little bit of action down the field going on right now. But with pretty big gaps right now, I don't think we're going to see much of a change in the order from where it's at the moment. As I say that, though, F1 Fan and Lenore, pretty close battle for P4 at the moment. Not too much space between those 2 at the moment. So potentially a change of order there. But otherwise, unfortunately, I think there's just too big of gaps elsewhere in the field to really see much more action unless a big mistake happens with 3 laps remaining now here in Berlin.
Yes, exactly. As we see the pole position with a difference of 7 seconds from the 2nd place position. It's a really great race by Kikira and not a rare one indeed. Dakar throughout this season has really shown his worth and how great of a driver he is. Now F1 Fan is trying to take over TDM Fan, but it doesn't look like there will be much of a battle there, as TDM Fan is breaking away, try to space himself as much out as possible from F1 Fan. He knows that he can't go for Kikira at the moment because Kikira is so ahead of him, but he's just trying to keep this position, because a 3rd place finish is a great finish, especially for Berlin.
Indeed, as now Dakar is about to lap the cheetah of Captain Wookie, the championship winner for season 5 of Formula E, having an excellent season, and it looks like he's just continuing that dominance that we've seen now, as he's looking to make a statement of his abilities and just trying to get the best standing for next season as he can, as the Cheetah there touches the wall as Dakar overtakes him, lapping him, and Dakar now pushing to overtake the Mahindra of Big Snow for an overtake there. So Dakar just dominating this Berlin E Prix. Outstanding drive for him, as he will be the championship winner, just continuing to show the dominance he's had all year.
Now it looks like he's trying to overtake Big Snow as well. Dakar, yeah, indeed. He's really had a really great season by Dakar, and just all around great driver. I've no doubt that in the next season he'll definitely make as much or even more money.
The wall, he's at risk now, as TDM fan overtaking Kaikira after Kaikira has a touch with the wall. TDM fan now getting his Geox back into P2. What an incident there, as Kaikira now will be trying to attack TDM fan here on the final lap of this Berlin E Prix. So we'll jump on board Kaikira in Nissan and watch the end of this battle.
Yeah, Kakira definitely. Although he did a bump of wall there, and TDM fan took over that position. There's definitely still a battle going on here between Kakira and TDM fan, as TDM fan is right beside Kakira. Kakira is trying to take those inside turns as much as he can, because he knows that if he doesn't pressure TDM fan as much, as since they are on the last lap of the race, this is really important. Now TDM fan has already overtaken Kakira and made more space, as he's already done in the past. This is really great racing by TDM fan and Kakira, but it looks like TDM fan will pull ahead.
Indeed, TDM fan seems to be holding down the position, but anything can happen in the last section of the race now, as Kaikira is just going to be looking to get a good run into the hairpin of turn 9, which looks like he is doing. Kaikira gaining on him now into the hairpin, and Kaikira doesn't pull ahead in the hairpin, runs a little bit wide. TDM fan still holding the lead. Kaikira having his last chance now here at turn 10, as looks like Dakar may have fallen off a little bit. But
oh my gosh. And TDM fan overtakes him.
TDM fan gets the win. Kaikira comes home P2, Dakar P3. After Dakar pulled off, it seems Dakar gave TDM the win, as TDM coming home for Geox in the P1 position. What a photo finish.
That is a finish we've never seen before. That was absolutely incredible. Dakar just giving that position to TDM fan and Kakira. Now Kakira is going up into second place and to TDM fan into first. Really, we weren't expecting this, especially in laps 2021. TDM fan was, in fifth, sixth place, but now he's coming ahead and just taking that first place from Dakar like that. Really incredible job by TDM fan. I really don't know what was going on there with Dakar.
Indeed, I think Dakar either had an engine issue or he just decided to give someone else the win since he's already the championship. What a race, end of the race though, with TDM fan coming home P1, Kaikira P2 for the Nissan team, Dakar P3 for Audi, rounding out the podium there. As now looking at the rest of the results, the envision of F1 fan coming home P4, Lenore09 for Neo coming home P5. They'll be happy with that. Super Funny Max P6 for Venturi, P7 Tabaz, P8 Alnuno, P9 Warrior Gabriel in the other envision. Not the result they were hoping for. Big Snow P10 for Mahindra, running out P11 out of the points. Captain Wookie for Tachita. What a race here in Berlin. We're going to go to a quick break and come back to you for the podium here in Berlin. We'll be back in a moment with live coverage. All right, we're back here for our live coverage here at Berlin for the podium ceremony now. As we see TDM Fan on the top step of the podium, Kaikira on that second step, and Dakar on the third step of the podium here following the Berlin E Prix. What a race we had here today, as now they're going through the podium ceremony, the anthem played for our race winner, TDM Fan in the Geox. What a race we saw.
What a race indeed. At the start, we had TDM Fan, Kikira, Super Funny Max, Lenore, Project US 3R, all in the top 5. And now we've seen that change. Now, it's really interesting. TDM Fan started in first and ended in first, which is a really great job, but very unlikely, as Dakar literally gave that position to TDM Fan. As we saw, Dakar just went off to the side and gave TDM Fan that first place position and Kikira that second place position, which will really help them. Now, I think this was a kind gesture, as Dakar is already the season's champion and already shown how great of a racer he is. In this, in this race, it was probably one of the greatest races I've seen. There's so much battling and so much, so much pressure on each of the racers to perform well and try to get their team to more. And that is definitely what happened. TDM Fan, Kikira, and Dakar definitely put a great race out, as well did the other racers. And they obviously pulled ahead and did the best race they could.
And now we're bringing you some interviews with the podium drivers here today, real quick. As we'll start off by interviewing our first place driver, TDM Fan. If you'll come down here with us,
Hello, TDM Fan. Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations on this first place position. And now, how's your season gone so far?
Well, it's only been 4 races. I started P5 in my first ever race. Like, I finished P5, and then ever since then it's been the podium. And finally, I can taste this top spot. I'm pretty happy, and I'm really thankful for Dakar for what he did.
Definitely. You had a really good race here today, and kind gesture from Dakar, the championship winner, to give you the win here today. But
no problem.
But what a race we saw from you, and what can we expect from you in the last 2 races of this season?
Well, I'll hopefully be on the podium for the last 2 races as well. I got a bit of sad info though. Turns out, B Guys has left Formula E apparently, and Geox no longer has an owner, so I don't know what's going to happen about that.
Yeah,
apparently, so. Oh, who is that tosser?
Get wrecked, infant.
Who is that infidel who just fucking threw my car? Anyway. So yeah, aside from that bit of sad news, this was an amazing weekend. Pulled good times all around. Really happy for Kaikera and Dakar as well. It was a bit of a mess at the very start of the race, with some people like crashing and others just leaving. But yeah, even though it started hectic, it finished on a high note, I'd say.
Now, yeah, definitely. Now on the last couple of laps, on lap 2021, you're at 5th or 6th place position, I believe, and then you pulled through and got that first place position. And so, how did you do that? What was your mindset when you were coming into those last couple of laps to try to get a first place position?
Oh, about dropping, after basically on the high speed DHL corner, I'm not sure which turn it is, but on the high-speed DHL corner, I lost the back and just spun around, and then I noticed I had traction control, which for some reason makes the cars a bit slidier, but yeah, I fell, and that broke my morale quite a bit, and then after passing, I guess there was like 1 or 2 people in front of me. After passing those, I just had a nice battle with Kaikera, and on lap 24, I saw that he spun, which is pretty unlucky, honestly. He would have won if it wasn't for that, but yeah. I just focused and prevailed.
Yes, exactly. It was a really great race. Congratulations. Now tell us about your opinion on the Berlin track. All right, did you find it difficult? Did you find it easy? Now you said that you kind of lost a bit of traction, but other than that, was it easy, difficult, or?
It's perfect for my driving style because I personally love fast corners and like just fast tracks in general. The first turn was pretty hard as it gets tighter as you go on. Other than that, I wouldn't say that there are many hard corners, but I'd say a medium difficulty track. It's very fun though.
Well, once more, congratulations on the win. We can't wait to see what comes from you in the last 2 races of the season. Congratulations to you and your team.
Also, I'd just like to tell you guys that there is a midget being shot right behind you, so I'll leave you guys to that.
We'll just move over here now as we interview our second place driver, Kaikira, for the Nissan team. Kaikira, how are you doing today?
Yo, what's good? I'm doing great.
A great race we saw from you. Unfortunately, though, around lap 22, we saw you hit the wall, and that gave TDM the effective P2, which became turned into P1 from Dakar. What happened there? What in that incident?
So the DHL left-hander, the high-speed corner, the same one TDM spun like 10 laps before. I don't know, it just went down, so and I lost the rear end. I somehow got it back without losing that much time. I lost about a second more than TDM did on his spin. But it's cool. I don't really care in the end. I was the moral victor. I had to take a piss so bad. It's been like 5 hours. And I was sitting on the toilet for like a minute and a half. It was terrible. Now, finally, I got to release my inner problems. TDM won the race. Good for him. It's funny. Last week, he was talking about like, hey, I'm going to win this race. I'm like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, you actually might. Okay, and he won, but it's good for him. Kind of disappointed that he's Turkish and he won the race, but that happens. It's life. But good job to TDM.
Wow.
He's really a tremendous driver. I'm not at all surprised that he's done this. He would have won a race sooner or later. I'm really proud of him. He's a really good friend. So I don't know. I just have to say good job to him. And it's not honestly as disappointing as it looked. Also, good job to Decker because he just drove a tremendous race. At the end, he let us take the positions. What a nice guy. Absolute chap. Helped us out. Always been helping us. Been my mentor for the past year. Amazing guy.
Well, it's great to hear that you got that second place position. Congratulations. It's also great to hear that you got that inner problem sorted out. Yeah.
That was the real problem.
Exactly. Now, so you said that you were this track, you hit your back end and kind of got that traction up. Now, was that the main problem of the race, or did you find this race easy or difficult, or how did you find this race?
No, I didn't hit my rear end. It just went on its own. I don't know. It was kind of random. We'll have to rewatch what exactly happened there.
Exactly.
But I guess the track was really fun as CDMs.
What is going on there?
Easy because it wasn't exactly easy. Every race is difficult, and I think the track kind of suited me though. I really liked the fast-flowing nature of it. It kind of reminded me of Wise. Overall, it was a pretty good track, good race. Apart from the start, it was just terrible. We have these extreme leftists that were doing terrible. They crashed. Oh, restart the race, I crashed. Oh, tough luck. If you crash, you crash. You face the consequences. If I had crashed, I would have been out. If Decker crashed, would have been out. If TDM crashed, same thing. If it happens to you, it's a problem. If it happens to someone else, apparently not a problem. So, I think that was kind of a conflict of interest between those guys. So, what can you say? Who cares about it? Tough luck.
A little note to add. In Monaco, I crashed out because of lag, because I was inside everybody. And I maybe asked for a restart because that's instinctive, but we didn't.
Shut up. Go back to commentary, Decker.
And now,
that's something between us. Don't worry. Nothing against you guys. Sorry.
There is currently a live shooting.
Okay, well,
all right. Well,
that's
thank
cool.
you for your Dakar. Congratulations on P2. We can't wait to see what comes of you the last 2 races of the season.
Oh, thank you. Nice having you.
All right, and lastly, we'll come to our 3rd place driver of the day, Dakar. Great drive for you today, Dakar. You gave the other 2, the other top podium positions, but you still dominated the entire race. So what led you to just give them the win and 2nd place?
Oh yeah, so first of all, since the incident that happened in the beginning of the race, yes, I was lagging a bit, like every race because of the fastest lap, sector times, etc. But I didn't lag as much as in Paris, and for some reason they all crashed. It was all fine until they decided that we would restart, and if everybody who crashed had the right to restart, I would not have raced. But we didn't, so I raced. So, but I didn't really care about the finish really. If TDM or Kite deserved the victory more than me. So.
Well, that's actually really nice. Now tell me, coming into this race, now you already had an amazing start and you're already the champion of the season 5. So tell me, coming into this race, how did you feel? Were you confident that you were going to get a great position like you did? Or, were you a bit more scared? Up the ante?
So my practice of this track was in quali. Like literally, my practice was in quali. I did 1 out lap, 1 hot lap, and I ended up in P2 immediately. So quite confident on the first laps. This track was easy to learn, unlike Paris.
Now that
Jesus Christ.
and that you've been officially declared as of last race the championship leader or championship winner for season 5, what can we expect from you in the last 2 races of the season, since you have nothing else to really accomplish that you haven't already?
Well, I'm just going to do like racing for fun, because at this point, like the management of this race didn't look really good. So
What the
I'm trying.
fuck was that?
Yeah,
Oh, no, push
exactly.
talk. Apologies.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that, but
Absolute idiot.
that's exactly my thinking. The management was bad, so on the next races, I will not really care, really.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Dakar, and we wish you good luck in the rest of the season, as you just look to have a fun end to the season.
Okay, well, thank you.
And now we are going to wrap things up for you here in Berlin. As what a race we had here today. We just want to say thank you for joining us here at BBC. Sorry for any of the technical difficulties, but we're just glad that we've got to bring you an excellent
interview
for everything there in the middle of the race. And we thank you for joining us. Is there any final thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. It was a great race. Thank you guys very much for the opportunity to be, commentating my first race. Hopefully this isn't the last. It's really been enjoyable commentating beside you, the real Slayer. Thank you guys for watching.
It may be your last if you get shot by Mini Dakar. Jesus Christ.